All right, welcome, welcome. My name is Samuel Sulam. You might know me personally, or you might have just seen my face on Instagram a few weeks ago. Um, Either way, I'm very happy to be sharing this with you. So thank you for watching, and let's get into it. If you're watching this, you might have just finished being in a relationship. You might be wanting to get into one. You might be done with dating apps. What is for sure is that you want to feel grounded, confident, and magnetic. You want to be able to have effortless conversations with women and not feel like you're trying to do something. You want to feel like you're in your body and connected with her instead of up in your head, thinking of what to say, thinking of what to do. You want to be able to walk into a room and not just think you belong there, but know deep down in your belly that you do. There is a problem, however, and that problem is that everyone is telling you something different. Women are saying things like, I don't need a man, but please approach me, but only if you're this height, and only if you have this much money, but don't be a creep. And then culture is saying you got to be strong, but not intimidating. You got to be emotionally available, but don't become needy. Be respectful, but confident. Be vulnerable, but don't make vulnerability your whole personality. And then a certain part of the internet is saying distrust all women. They're evil and they will disappoint you. Don't be a beta cuck simp. Call these bitches out. These are my favorite people, the ones in my comments. And your friends are telling you just be more confident, but they don't know what they're talking about because they are all in relationships. And then your parents are just wondering what the fuck is wrong with you. So what do? Nothing. You're burnt out, you're overwhelmed, and you're confused. So you sit and you consume, and the years go by, and you're no closer to your goal. But what if there's another way? So before I continue, I want to just tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Samuel Sulam. I grew up in California, Los Angeles to be specific. And when I was a boy, I was I was I was a little clown. I loved attention. I would loved putting on shows for my family. I would stand up on the table and tell jokes and sing and dance. And somewhere along the way, something happened. I didn't like that attention anymore because that attention made me feel like I was in danger. To stick out was no longer a good thing. To be myself was risky. So I started to withdraw. I put on a plate of armor over my chest. I got into the weight room. I put on this tough guy persona and I kept everyone at a distance. I would feel like this clown deep down inside, but I didn't want to show it, or I'd only want to show it around certain people. And if I ever did show that and it didn't go well, I'd say, fuck that, I'm not doing it again. And this had a toll with women because when I got to college, I learned that you have to go and talk to them. You don't just, it doesn't just happen like it does in high school. This is a big place. You have to be upfront. You have to be direct. You have to take risk. So what, so this picture. So this is a picture of me in college. I think I'm in junior, senior year. I used to have hair. And the woman pictured here is someone who I had a big crush on. And I was not at the point in life where I could say what I wanted. I could not be direct. I could not express my needs or my wants. So I invented circumstances to be around women. So in this case, I had the bright idea of showing her Godfather 1. And she accepted this invitation. She came over to my apartment, came into my bedroom where we had the television, and laid on my bed for 3 hours, and nothing happened. She would go on her way, and nothing would ever happen between us. And I would like to say I learned a lesson. Unfortunately, that did not happen. It took 10 years of hiding behind dating apps to finally realize that I was afraid of being vulnerable, risking rejection, and facing the uncomfortable feelings that were associated with that. Dating apps became my life. It was the only way that I could socialize with women because I felt so insecure in my own self that it was just easier to hide. It was easier to swipe. I didn't have to humiliate myself. I didn't have to go into places I didn't really want to be and spend money and drink. And I didn't have to do any of that. I didn't have to figure out, does she like me? Does she not like me? No. Lay on your bed and swipe. It wasn't until I was about 32 where I was the lowest I had ever been did I decide to look in the mirror and say, there's got to be another way. I didn't really realize just how much I was stealing from myself by hiding behind those apps. I didn't realize that I had robbed myself of a vital initiation process in a man's life, which is being a boy, looking to his mother for reassurance, for guidance, for love, for permission to go and do what he wants and say what he believes, walking into tension and conflict and allowing for that to happen. That affects not just your communication with women, but communication with every single person in work, in family, and in life. So that is what we are doing here. It is much bigger than just talking to women. So that is what brings us to today. I want to share with you a system that I've developed that took me from being an anxious, shut down boy to a man who is calm, grounded, and deeply embodied in his confidence. It's allowed me to experience the women, the life, and most importantly, the respect for myself that I never thought possible. The social flow method can be broken into three parts: the presence, the lead, and the initiation. And this is not a linear system. It is something that you work on at the same time, and all things flow into each other. So phase one, the presence. And before I talk about this little picture right here, I want to tell you something that might mess with your head. Okay, now get ready. You are already attractive. You are already built to attract women naturally without doing anything. The only problem is you just have too much shit in your head. Now, what do I mean by that? Let's look at this picture right here. Now, I'm not a plumber, but I'm going to explain how pipes work. So on the left here is a normal functioning pipe. So say it's for your sink. You have a pipe, takes water from wherever it originates, and it comes up through with good pressure and comes right out of your faucet. But what if you put some food in that pipe, a little bit of sediment, some sand, little obstructions? And then what if you take a hammer and start smashing the sides and get little cracks in the side of that pipe, what's going to happen to the pressure and the flow of that water? It's not going to come out the same. It's going to not flow in the way that you want it to. What does that have to do with women? To be present with a woman, to be in the here and now and not thinking about what you have to say. What did I just say? What did just happen? Why did she look at me like that? But be completely present. You have to have inner awareness. You have to know what's going on inside so that you can identify what is getting in the way from me just being me. What is this crack? What is this sediment? What is it? Can I let it go? What I what are these cracks? They are your limiting beliefs, beliefs about who you are, what you look like, your beliefs about women, your beliefs about the world and what people think about what you're doing. All of that is obstruction from flow, from presence. So understanding your own feelings and emotions is the only true way to connect and attract women that you actually want. My mentor used to say, you cannot, my mentor used to say, you cannot seduce a woman from your head. It's physically impossible. But what do we do as guys? We like to stay up there because it's safe. We love to be up in logic, planning, rationale, right? That's where we feel comfortable. It's not our fault. It's just how we're built. And if you look at a woman, on the other hand, what is she like? She's the exact opposite of you. She is in her body, in her emotions. She is sensitive. She is sometimes overwhelmed by that. And that can drive us crazy, right? And she looks at you the other way because you're up in your head. She goes, "What the fuck's wrong with you? You're so cold. You're so logical." Now, I'm not saying let's turn into women. I'm not saying let's become emotional, get in touch with our feelings. What you have to do is connect to what's going on inside, because if you do not understand that, you're going to stay up here. And staying up here is not presence. So I could talk to you about, I could keep talking about presence, but I'd rather show you. I want you to experience what it's like when the thinking stops. Okay? So let's just try something. I want you to find a upright seated position in your chair. And whenever you're ready, I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to start to take some deep breaths in through your nose and back out through your nose. So we go in and out, in and out, in and out. And as you keep that rhythm, I'm just going to speak to you. I want you to feel the weight of your body, your butt up against your chair. What does it feel like to have that chair supporting your body, your spine, your thighs, your sit bones? What does that feel like? I want you to bring your attention down to your feet and feel your feet against the floor. What do you notice? Do you notice that your heels are heavier? Is there more contact on the edges of your foot or the soles? What about your toes? Can you check into each individual one of your toes? What does that feel like? And I want you to imagine now you have a paintbrush, and along the bottoms of your feet, you're going to paint along your feet and up on the back of your calves, all the way up the back of your legs. And we're going to come until we reach the small of your back. And just check in there. What's going on in the small of your back? Does it feel tight? Does it feel warm? Does it feel nothing at all? Anything that it is, let it be. And I want you to take that paintbrush now and come to your belly, come to your navel, and take that paintbrush and just slowly paint up the front of your body until we get to your heart, right in the heart space. What do you feel there? Is there an emotion? Is there a color, a temperature, a shape? Keep breathing now. Don't stop, but check in with that heart space and see if there's an emotion. Is there a feeling of grief, sadness, nothing, maybe warmth, maybe compassion? Maybe it feels good just to take a moment and relax. Now bring your attention up into your throat. What do you feel in your throat? Does it feel tight, itchy, scratchy? Can you just relax the throat a bit? Make it feel wide and open. Now continue with the paintbrush and come up your mouth, up your nose, all the way to the back, and then draw and trace all the way down your spine and all the way until we reach back into the small of your back. And then down your thighs and all the way into the earth, 60 meters down, rooted. If you were a tree in a storm, you could not be blown over. What does that feel like? Welcome that feeling. Now, I'm going to say a few words now. Continue to breathe. I'm going to say a few words, and I want you to see where you feel that in your body. When I say these words, what sensations come up? Now, I don't want you to go to a memory. I want you to stay in the body. Now, bring your attention to your heart space and just relax into it. See if we can expand that space. What does it feel like to feel capable? Can you welcome feelings of feeling capable? What about adventurous? What does it feel like to feel adventurous? What about brave? When you feel brave, where do you feel it? Is it in your stomach, your back, your gut? What about certain? Can you welcome feelings of feeling certain? Keep breathing. Can you welcome feelings of being determined, decisive, focused? Can you feel focused, purposeful? Can you welcome feelings of joy? Where do you feel joy in your body? Now continue to breathe. We're going to go in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, and out through the mouth, into the nose. And keep on going until you got no air left. And relax. And when you're ready, open your eyes and come back into the room you are sitting in. And look around. What do you notice about the space? What do you feel within inside yourself? Don't think too much, just feel it. This is the feeling of presence. This is the feeling of being in your body, in the moment, and connected to yourself. No one can take this away from you. This feeling you have right now is always accessible. We just have to learn how to let go of all the stuff up here to get there. Okay. So I have two more phases for you. I'm going to shift the tone a little bit, but I want to get through this with you. So phase two is called the lead. The symbol here is the yin and yang. It represents harmony, balance, polarity. Okay? Positive, negative, dark, light, masculine, feminine. You cannot have one without the other. So you might have heard of the masculine energy and the feminine energy. Let me just, if you haven't, let me just walk you through this. Masculine represents vision, purpose, decisiveness, structure, discipline, groundedness, ownership, protection, containment, and most importantly, for the sake of this, penetration. As men, we literally have to penetrate with our energy to create life, right? Okay, good. You learned that. The feminine represents aliveness, flow, feeling, intuition, literal creation, radiance, receptivity, sensation, connection, and spontaneity. A woman receives the masculine to create life. You cannot do one without the other. So why do you need to know this? We need to know this because we have lost the understanding of true masculine energy, and we need to reconnect with it in order to connect with the feminine. Culture now has really made this unclear for men. And because of that, we are afraid of stepping into that energy because of what it might say about us. The masculine in excess is tyranny, workaholism, recklessness, rigidity, joylessness, stonewalling, control, shutdown, possessiveness, and violation. This is when you hear of, this is now what men are associated with, unfortunately. And until we can understand this is our true gift, we cannot embrace it. Okay. I talk a lot about going first and a lot about taking the lead. Going first is action. It is vision. It is leadership. It is that penetration. You are the spark that is necessary to create life. And that is why it is your responsibility as a man to go up to her. Right now, what's likely happening is that you are waiting. You're waiting for the permission. You're waiting for her to look at you, for you to say it's okay. You're looking for the match on the dating app. You're looking for someone to just push you and say, go do it. But you know what you want. The only problem is you're still operating from this boy psychology. And it is this boy psychology that looks outward for this permission. We need to get you through this initiation process that will transform the boy psychology into the man psychology, into the true masculine. Phase 3 is the initiation. I would say this is the most, excuse me, this is the most technical of it all, most strategic. When we want to get better with women, or we want to get better with anything, we need to set ourselves up for success. Guys think that they can just go and do it, and if they're no good right away, it's not for me. Or you'll get someone who goes up to a girl, she gives him one nasty look, and then he goes, you know what? Fuck this. Fuck her. Fuck you, Sam, for making me do this. I'm done. I don't want to. The reason is because it's emotionally so charged that it confirms everything they already believe, that they're not attractive, that this is not going to work, that women hate him, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I would never ask you to go into a gym and start bench pressing 315 pounds if you have not worked up into that point. Likewise, if you want to just start getting out of your head, get more confident, get better with women, you got to start small, dude. That's it. That's what the initiation is about. It's about making a concrete plan that slowly pushes you and edges you out of your comfort zone, but not too much that it completely overwhelms you. It puts you in complete shutdown and you never try it again. This is a marathon. This is something that we have to pace ourselves, look at it as something that you're working on for a while to really make change. This is some of the deepest, hardest work that you do. And if you do not respect it as such, you're just going to fall back into what you've been doing. So we've talked about psychology, we've talked about polarity, and we've talked about planning. What is next? Guys, the world needs solid men. All you have to do is look on your phone for 5 minutes and you see that the world needs real men, leaders, protectors, people who are grounded and secure in themselves. The world needs you. The world needs you to be strong and confident because no one else is going to do it. There's every excuse not to now. And we are seeing the repercussions of that. When I was 10 years old, I thought I was going to make movies. I dreamed of winning Oscars. I dreamed of being known and respected for my art. But not too long ago, I came to the realization that that is not my mission. That is not my journey. That is not my destiny in life. This here now is what I've been put on the planet to do. I will be doing this until the day I die. No doubt. No fucking doubt in my mind. So I want to help you. So I'm going to have here a link to book a call with me. And I want to talk to you. I want to hear what you're going through. I want to hear where you're at and where you want to be. And I'm going to create for you a plan, a presence plan of what you could try to get there. And if it makes sense, I can show you how I could support you on that journey. Okay. So thank you for listening. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. I hope you got something out of it, and I hope to speak to you soon.